Welcome to History and Languages. In today's video, we'll dive into one of the most fascinating historical mysteries. Were the Vikings the first Europeans to discover America, Australia, and even Antarctica? Official evidence tells us about Columbus arriving in America in 1492, but what if we could prove that the intrepid Nordic navigators had already set foot on these territories centuries earlier? Join me to discover the evidence that has been silenced for centuries. The Vikings, those warriors and explorers from the north, dominated the seas between the 8th and 11th centuries. Their naval mastery is unparalleled in ancient history. Their vessels, known as drakers or longships, were masterpieces of naval engineering that allowed them to navigate shallow waters and face the most turbulent seas. With these revolutionary ships, the Vikings could venture much further than we believe. In 1960, archaeologists Helga and Stein Ingstad discovered in LanceEux Meadows, Newfoundland, Canada, the unequivocal remains of a Viking settlement. Dated around the year 1000, this finding confirmed what the Norse sagas had told. Leif Erikson had reached Vinland, as they called part of North America, almost 500 years before Columbus. The excavations revealed typical Nordic houses, forged iron objects, and evidence of metallurgy that only the Vikings mastered at that time. But there's more. A controversial artifact, the Kensington Stone, discovered in Minnesota in 1898, contains runic inscriptions that narrate the expedition of Vikings to the heart of North America in 1362. Although many academics consider it a forgery, recent studies on the stone's erosion and linguistic analyses suggest it could be authentic. Why is the scientific community so reluctant to accept this evidence? Perhaps because rewriting history is never simple. If you're enjoying this journey through hidden history, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos about historical mysteries and knowledge you won't find in conventional textbooks. The evidence of Viking presence in Australia is even more surprising. The Vinland maps, copies of ancient Viking maps, show the Australian coasts with astonishing precision. Some petroglyphs found in the Kimberley region in Western Australia present symbols that bear an extraordinary resemblance to Viking runes. Additionally, recent genetic analyses have found Nordic markers in some isolated Aboriginal communities, suggesting ancient contact. Even more amazing is the Piri Reis map, drawn in 1513 but based on much older sources, which shows the Antarctic coast without ice in detailed precision. Only in the 20th century did modern technology confirm what the contour of Antarctica under the ice really looks like. How could it be drawn with such accuracy if the frozen continent was supposedly not discovered until 1820? Some researchers suggest this map was based on ancient Viking knowledge. The Norse sagas speak of icy lands to the south where the day never ends, a perfect description of the Antarctic summer. Archaeologist Thor Heyerdahl found surprising similarities between Polynesian and Viking shipbuilding technologies, suggesting a possible link through explorations in the South Pacific. Furthermore, recent findings of Nordic DNA in ancient human remains from Polynesia reinforce this theory. Why has this information been hidden? Perhaps because it contradicts the established narrative about European discoveries of the 15th century. History is written by the victors, and acknowledging that the Vikings arrived first would diminish the importance of later expeditions financed by European monarchies. We must also consider that many pieces of evidence may have been lost. Vikings primarily built with wood, a material that degrades over time, and their oral tradition meant that much knowledge could have been lost when their culture was Christianized. The controversies continue, but each year new evidence appears pointing toward a much more extensive global Viking presence than we ever imagined. If these intrepid navigators really circumnavigated the world centuries before the Age of Discovery, we would have to completely rewrite our understanding of world history and cultural exchange between ancient civilizations. The evidence is there, waiting for us to have the courage to recognize it.